Hey, Charger History. Today's essential question is, who were Greece's first inhabitants? Inhabitants means someone who lives somewhere, so we're talking today about who were the first people to live in Greece. Yesterday we studied the geography of Greece and how that influenced Greece's development as a civilization. Do you remember why Greece's city-states were so isolated from one another? And how did Greeks mainly get their food and resources? Today we'll talk about the first societies to live on the peninsula of Greece. Please turn to your Wednesday passage and follow along as we read together. Make sure to annotate, circle keywords, underline key details that explain what those keywords mean, and summarize each paragraph. Let's get started. The Minoans lived on the island of Crete in the Aegean Sea. The Aegean Sea is really just a smaller area of the bigger Mediterranean Sea. By about 2000 BC, the Minoans had built a civilization on the island of Crete. Their chief city was called Knossos. This is what Crete looks like today. It's really beautiful. This is what Knossos looked like on the island of Crete back during the time of the Minoans. This is what's left. Minoan kings ruled from a huge palace at Knossos. The palace had more than 800 rooms. Some rooms even had hot and cold running water. This civilization was so advanced that all Minoan people had large houses and running water, not just the rich. Please pause and summarize that paragraph. The Minoans were great sea traders. Their ships traveled to Mesopotamia, Egypt, and other lands. The Minoans helped to spread innovations. They carried the knowledge and cultures of Mesopotamia and Egypt to Greece and other lands. Their excellent sailing skills also helped keep the Mediterranean Sea free of pirates. The Minoans were the protectors of the sea. The Minoan civilization disappeared about 1400 BC, leaving just the ruins. Historians are not sure why. A great earthquake or a tsunami may have destroyed their civilization, or Mycenaean invaders may have conquered Crete and destroyed its cities. Please pause and summarize that paragraph. The Mycenaeans started on the Greek mainland peninsula, but they were a warlike people. So the Mycenaeans, the people that may have, or that definitely took over Crete after the Minoans were gone, they started here. But they used ships, they came to Crete, and they conquered the Minoans. Mycenaean ships attacked and plundered or robbed cities and towns all around the Aegean Sea. And by about 1400 BC, the Mycenaeans had won control of the Aegean region from the Minoans, and they had taken over the island of Crete. This was their territory after they conquered these lands. The Mycenaeans learned a lot from the Minoans. They learned to build and sail ships from the Minoans. They also copied Minoan styles of art, especially painting. And these are the things that they painted, because even though they knew how to paint, they also cared more about war. More importantly, they were able to communicate because of the Minoans. They used the Minoan system of letters for writing. Eventually, the Mycenaean civilization ended in a dark age. A dark age is a period in which a group of people seem to move backward in development rather than making advancements. Poverty increased, meaning that many people did not have enough food or resources. Trade slowed, and people stopped learning how to read or write or how to make specialized crafts. This was a bad time for the Mycenaeans. During this time, the Mycenaean society was conquered by the Dorian people. The Dorians brought more technology, trade, and wealth to Greece, which awoke the region from the Dark Age. The Dorians are credited with bringing the ideas of money and democracy. money, and democracy, which means power to the people or rule by the people, to Greece. Now, side note from your passage, the reason that the Dorians were able to conquer the Mycenaeans is because the Dorians had iron weapons, which we know are stronger than other types of weapons. The way that the Dorians got these iron weapons was from the Hittites. Remember that the Hittites, we talked about a long time ago, were the first people to ever use iron to make tools and weapons. So the Hittites gave iron to the Dorians. The Dorians used it to conquer Greece and take over this land. So luckily, the Dorian invasion was a good thing because it awoke Greece from the Dark Ages, and the Dorians saved the day. Let's talk more about the Dorian people along with the Minoans and Mycenaeans when you get to your practice. Now you're going to pause and summarize your last paragraph. Now X out of this tab and close your computer. Work on your summaries at level 0 until it's time to practice.